Hey everyone, you should be starting your luminary today, and I'm going to show you how to set up that document. If you're still working to finish up your portrait, please get that done and then move right into your luminary. So, to get your document set up, you're going to need to, and this is what it's going to look like. You're going to need to open a new document. And I need your settings to be 22 inches wide. So first, make sure you're in inches. Yesterday, I had somebody in picas and that totally threw them off. So make sure you're in inches and you need your width 22 and your height 8.5. I am going to name my file because I am always in a rush and I forget to do it. And then I end up having a bunch of untitled documents, which when I look back at to try to open something, I find very confusing. So name your document luminary. Again, make sure you're in inches, 22 width and 8.5 height. And then you're going to create. Okay, here is the document. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to bring out guides so you know where the folds are going to be, right? Because we are going to fold this into a three-dimensional lantern. So I want to open up my ruler so that I can see where to drag my guides out to. So I'm going to go to view and I'm going to scroll down to rulers and then I'm going to do show rulers. You'll notice that there is a shortcut, which on a Mac is Command R and on a PC is Control R. So anytime you want to quickly open your rulers, you can just hit Control R if you're on a PC or Command R if you are on a Mac. Sorry, all my kids are home remote, so that is the noise. Showing rulers. So now you'll notice that your rulers pop up. There is a a horizontal ruler here and a vertical ruler on the left side. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out a guide. Okay, where you do not want to click is in the corner. That will set your rulers to a different location and you do not want to click in here. So when you draw out your rulers, you want to click anywhere down here outside of that corner and you're going to click and you're going to drag. Now I'm going to hold down shift because that will lock it into quarters. And I know that I need to bring it out to 5.5 and I'm going to let go. Again, holding down shift brings it out and it sort of snaps to quarter marks on the ruler, which is helpful. So we have at 5.5. And then I'm going to go back to the ruler. I'm going to click, I'm holding down shift and I'm going to drag it out to 11. I'm just going to move my layers panel so that I can see the ruler. And then I'm going to click in the ruler, holding down shift, and I'm going to drag it out to 16.5. Now, don't be fooled. Notice that it goes from 16 to 18. So that means halfway is going to be 17. So 16.5 is actually the second mark. I have it set up over here so I can show you where it's 5.5 inches, 11 inches, and 16.5 inches. Okay, so they are the points in the ruler that you want to drag the guides out to, and that is where the folds are going to happen. Okay, so these are now your 4 panels for each side of your luminary. What I did here, and if you look at my layers, I ended up making 2 layers. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to delete that layer 1. I'm going to unlock, and then I'm going to delete these for now. So in my mind, because we're going to be cutting the paper and whatever we cut, the light is going to be shining through. I thought when I was creating my example that I would do a black background wherever it would be cut. And I would draw in white over top of the black so that I knew that that would be the paper. So what I did was I'm going to make a rectangle that is 3.5 by 6.5. Now, if you have an idea and you want to not go this route, that is fine. But for those of you that just kind of want to do the design, keep it simple, this is a good way to do it. So grab the rectangle tool, and then you're going to click once on the artboard, 3.5 by 6.5, and then I'm going to hit OK. 3.5 by 6.5 rectangle. Once I center it into this panel, gives me an inch on each side, which will give me a nice frame that'll give my luminary some stability to hold the artwork. I'm going to hold down Alt, and I have the selection tool, and I'm going to drag it over. I'm holding down Alt and Shift, actually. Shift will keep it going parallel. Alt will copy it. So I'm just duplicating it, eyeballing it. I can help you center it into each panel. Next class. So now that I have each panel here, I have each of my windows, I'm going to just lock this layer and then I'm going to create a new layer. Okay, so I created that box and then I just duplicated. So each of my panels in my luminary has a window. And now what I'm going to do is I would use myself. I love to use a pen tool because I feel like I have the most control, but you can use the pen tool. You can use any of these shapes. You can use the paintbrush, whatever tool you feel that you can get the illustration you want done. But for an example, I'm just going to use the paintbrush because it's quicker for me. So I'm going to make sure that when I create my designs, we want to do a narrative so it tells some sort of story, or at the very least there's a progression on each panel so that they're not all the same thing. I want each panel to be unique, so you could start a design and then keep building the design throughout each panel. That works. You can use the same pieces, so like if you do design leaves here, you can copy and paste and use the same elements and just arrange the design in a different way. That's fine too. Just make sure that when you are creating the design that it connects to the outside frame. Because remember, what's going to happen is anything that's black in this design is going to be cut by the machine. And so I want to make sure that I have it attached, because if it's not attached, it will fall off. So like if I was like, oh, I want to do dots, well, that wouldn't work because the dots aren't connected to anything, and they would just fall through. So that's something that would not be able to happen. Now, if I did the dots and they sort of connected to the white, that would work because it has something that would all be cut and is sticking to, right? Like think about that jack-o'-lantern example. Um, okay, and then you're just going to create your design. You can also, if you wanted to, you can incorporate text. That's fine as well. But again, I want each of these panels to be different and to sort of tell a narrative if possible, or at least transition throughout the four pieces. Okay, type's fine as well. Okay, if you have any questions, just let me know. I am home. My children have the quarantine, and I should be in tomorrow. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope to see you tomorrow.